Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Think Tank Sports. Think Tank Sports, where we think and you listen. Check us out on the socials, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Listen to us on Spotify for podcasters or wherever you get your podcast. We're out there for your listening ears. And watch us on YouTube. Here we are, glorious in our respective living spaces, if you will. And hey, it's a Monday, so we must be talking about Major League Baseball and the New York Yankees. And my gosh, Mike, for the first time in weeks, I think we have a fairly positive podcast about the Yankees. Some good things.
I would say more than fairly
positive.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing, but we got lots of good stuff to go and talk about, of course, but you can hear Mike's voice there. So officially, Mike, how the heck are you?
Doing really good, Dave. Thanks for asking. I know last week we promised an NBA podcast, but both of our teams are getting hammered, and it's just so sad. So we will
really
wrap it up, when the conference finals are over, probably.
Which could be tomorrow.
Right. By the time this is posted, probably. But anyway, Major League Baseball is a lot of fun as usual, and our Yankees are right in the center of it with drama with the Toronto Blue Jays, Dave.
Who?
The Toronto Blue Jays. The last place Toronto Blue Jays? Is that what you're looking for?
Sure. Anything but, respect for them is what I'm going for.
So I decided going after the ongoings of the series, I'll give the summation first, I guess. The Blue Jays are the equivalency to me of the Memphis Grizzlies in the NBA this year. A whole lot of bravado for having done nothing.
Yes.
Ain't won nothing, and acting like they already rule the world. And this series felt good, so Burrell started, it was Monday, right?
Monday, yep. Monday night, yep.
And this was Aaron Judge, 2 home runs, both solo shots, I believe, Dave, right?
Nobody on. Yes, 2 solo shots.
2 solo shots, and the Yankees offense, really spreading it around a little bit. Higashioka is getting in the mix, and Rizzo, of course, is on fire right now. So that was part of it. Calhoun even, contributed a little bit. So, and Burrito does what he can, and the bullpen holds, and the Yankees get a 7-4 win. And really, the drama starts after the game is over. So do you want to go there now, Dave, or is there anything else you want to say about this game or the performances therein?
Yeah, I thought it was a little strange before we get into all of that nonsense that they started Cordero in this game, and I thought, oh, geez, we're doing a bullpen game here. Not really sure exactly, but Cordero pitches 2 scoreless innings, and then they bring, the Burrito in.
He's been impressive, dude. He
Yeah.
really has.
Yeah. He's been great.
Mistake, but
he's been
live
great.
Arm, big intimidating motion. I love what he's doing.
Yeah, just surprising that we're, just getting into May here, and we're doing a bullpen game, and then like you said, Burrito comes out slinging tacos and only gives up 4 runs, only 1 of them earned, and pitches 5 1/3 innings. So we got out of him what we needed.
Right. He took some innings for us and did what he had to.
Yeah. And, from the Blue Jays perspective, you have Alek Manoah, who just has been awful this year. 1-4 is ERA at 5.4 after this game, gives up 5 runs in 4 innings with 7 walks, Mike. He just hasn't been good.
He's patient X for my fat guys and pitch clock theory. So, he's definitely right there. So
it's funny.
Definitely affected him early. I think he doesn't seem to be straining as much physically with the pitch clock and the pace, but he's just there's something's off. There's just a little bit off on the spin rate, or I don't know what it is. I haven't seen him enough to know, but I'm not upset to see it. I really don't care for the dude or really anybody on this team. So
no. Again, going back to your opening,
I guess
opening
Matt
slash
Chapman isn't a
closing
bad
statement
dude, but,
about the Blue Jays. Yeah. Mike. And so then we get this after the game. Oh, really? The nonsense. I'm going to just call it the nonsense.
It's bullshit. I'll call it what it is.
Yep.
Family show and everything, but sometimes you got to call bullshit.
And we've done that here and there in the 3+ years. But Judge gets caught on camera in his at bat while the Yankees are up 6-0, peeking into the Yankees dugout, not the Blue Jays dugout.
Right.
Peeking into the Yankees dugout. Now it comes out afterwards that Judge says, well, a lot of my teammates were celebrating at 6-0. And keep in mind, the Yankees are coming off of the split with the Tampa Bay Rays, and, had a chance, to win 3 out of 4. So you have to feel like they're feeling pretty good. And then they get up 6-0, and, they're bombing Manoah, and you can understand the excitement, but this also gets interpreted as Judge is looking into the dugout for signs, Mike, that trying to help his at bats.
It's unbelievable. It's really shameful unless they have direct proof. I mean, that's a terrible accusation, and I don't even know if it's illegal, to be honest with you. We could certainly have that debate about gamesmanship and part of the game, and if signs are being stolen, well, it's on you to hide your signs better, and that kind of stuff. If it's being done, obviously electronically or illegal,
or with a garbage can,
right, or buzzer on your chest or whatever. We don't condone that here at Think Tank Sports. Fuck
no,
you,
we do
Houston.
not.
Yeah. And so, I don't know. I lost my train of thought. You got me mad about Houston, Dave.
Sorry. No, just the accusations against Judge, and
proof.
how many times are we gonna, go through and now examine every player looking into the dugout at times. The other thing I was thinking, Mike, and I did not see this brought up at all, but you can think of plenty of times prior to the rules this year where a batter would take 1 step out of, or 2 steps out of the batter's box, and either look down the third baseline or look in, probably more the third baseline, I'm guessing, but also could look in the dugout for, some input, some signs or whatever.
Right.
They can't really do that now, Mike, because of the pace and whatnot.
Right. There's no time to execute that at all.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that that's what's going on there, but regardless, signs and stealing them and all of that has been part of baseball forever. It's, in that kind of unwritten rule thing. But I don't think that is the situation here, based on everything that we've seen and read and Judge's statements right out of the gate. So, and now it's been a week, Mike, and we've heard nothing from Major League Baseball.
Right.
So, and they take these things very seriously, and we've heard nothing. So shame on you, Toronto Blue Jays.
Absolutely. So that all boils over and combusts into the soap opera that was Tuesday night's game, Dave. Occasionally my wife and I will have the discussion of, she'll say, why do you like sports so much? And I'd say it's like a soap opera for men. You get invested in storylines of each player and team versus team and strategy and, all those kinds of things. And the Tuesday night had that reality show combustibility, almost Jerry Springer like atmosphere.
Oh yes.
With the shenanigans going on again the bullshit by the Blue Jays coaching staff and challenging who's standing in the coach's box
Oh
properly.
yes. There's a limit to the
and that
space
dance.
and what are you doing? Yes.
Yeah, and yelling back and forth to old men, going back and forth.
Right. Get your fat
dugout.
ass moving and
Yeah,
all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so that's kind of everything simmering now. The tensions are certainly high. And then I'm going to park and get on my high horse here for a minute, Dave.
Wait.
Why?
You haven't done that already?
No, not yet. I've been on the
Okay.
medium horse. Now I'm going up high.
Up on the high horse. Okay.
I'm a defender of the umpires, probably, to have a bias towards them in almost every situation, or at least try to give them a voice when I can.
Yes.
But why major league umpires across the board have not gotten control of this low strike to Aaron Judge, the low slider that starts at the knee and breaks down. I always say he has tall knees, meaning he's a big dude. His strike zone's much different.
Mm-hmm.
That slider might be a borderline strike to an average size player, but this is no average size player. No. And they've missed it now for years consistently. And I know the Yankees have, sent reel after reel of proof and, all of the stuff. And they've gotten apologies, which has done us, no good. So then it happens again here in the third inning, and Boone, gets ejected and really gets his money's worth and puts on a good show for everybody. Tosses the gum, that's a lot of that's bullshit, all that stuff. Again, family show. I guess not tonight. Maybe I have to
not tonight.
a censor warning on the front of this one, buddy. And the very next pitch, Judge cranks to center field, Dave. A more gargantuan shot I have not seen. The biggest for me, the biggest shot I've seen while it happened was Mark McGwire took Randy Johnson deep in the Superdome, like in the mid 80s or mid 90s, I guess it must have been.
Yeah.
And you hit it, they said 535 feet off the back wall of the Superdome in Seattle. And this shot the Judge hit was the most awe I've ever seen. Hits the top of the maple leaf and breaks.
Oh, yes, and breaks off the maple leaf. Love the pictures.
Yes.
Meredith Marakovitz, like holding her hand up and pointing at it. Oh, yeah. Right. The broken
like
maple
a good
leaf.
Drama, the symbolism just hanging there in the air, smacking you in the face,
Literally couldn't plan it any better if you tried.
Right. Also in this game, unfortunately, I don't root for injuries. Vlad Guerrero has to leave with a knee. He's going to have MRI. I haven't heard. I guess I haven't followed up on if he's out.
I have not. I have not either.
But I don't want to see that. I want to beat them healthy. I want there to be no doubt. And you never root for injuries for anybody. Well, there may be a few people in the history of the game I've root for injury. Roberto Alomar Jr., maybe number one.
Oh, the spitter.
The spitter. Anyway, we way digressed.
Yes.
Into the way back machine.
Into the abyss, I would say.
Also, this idiot, Domingo Germán, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
What are we going to do with this?
Is this Michael Pineda all over again?
I mean, the shot of him with his hand on his hip in the dugout, and he pulls his hand away, and just like a gob of brown goop. And to try to defend that, when he gets out to the mound, the guy's just an idiot. He's a stone cold idiot.
Yeah.
The incident, with beating up his girlfriend is bad enough, and he probably shouldn't have gotten another chance after that. But how can we continue to, other than being completely desperate for arms?
Yes.
It's the only reason we're going to continue to get him back out there. And I hate it. We're selling our souls for, some wins, and it just tears me apart. But I can't believe he's that stupid, Dave. What was your reaction?
Paging Devi Garcia, Devi Garcia, please report to Yankee Stadium immediately.
They're not bringing him up they need a starter. And they're bringing up this guy Cook, that has been in the bullpen in AAA so far. He's been, very effective, but
was that Dennis short order Cook?
I don't know, but that would be great if it was. Or son or grandson by this point.
No, I'm with you. They're just, what the hell are you doing? And he's, I got to apologize to my teammates, and I know we're in a rough spot. And, it feels like the same things that he said when he got suspended.
Right. So,
and by the way, he got suspended 10
again. 10 games, and that roster spot is frozen. We can't replace it.
You can't add anybody there.
Right. You can't add anyone. Right. He freezes that spot. So if someone else gets caught, Dave, now you're down 2 pitchers. You got to be so afraid, like the way they were checking Clark Schmidt there.
On Thursday.
On Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
They had to be, pooping bricks, and
they said it. I mean, Clark Schmidt said his heart was beating like crazy, or skipped a beat. Absolutely.
And I don't blame David Bell for going nuts and getting thrown out. If they said there was something on his hand and they had to go wash it off a second time, how he was allowed to actually do that.
Yeah.
If I was on the other side, I'd be just as pissed. Honestly.
Yeah.
I don't believe Schmidt was trying to cheat. I think it was.
No, it's the fact that he's got a black glove and the inside of the stuff is black and it comes out looking that way. And I get it with David Bell, but at the same time, like, it's a black glove. Now, I guess you could say, well, it's a black glove, so it's easier to hide that kind of stuff and blah, 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 blah. So I can side with you a little bit there. You're not being completely going off the reins here.
Yeah, but back to this game on Tuesday night. So you had all that in one game. You had drama and intrigue and heroes and goats and all that stuff and symbolism with the hanging maple leaf. So then the next game, Dave, a total contrast.
Yeah,
a complete pitchers duel by both teams.
And this
0-0.
That's baseball, Susan. You just literally, from one day to the next, you just can't anticipate it. Right. So Bassett goes 7 innings and doesn't allow any runs, and Cole goes 6 innings and doesn't allow any runs. And
the Yankees run their A team, I would call it, out of the bullpen.
Yes, Holmes, Cordero, King, and Poo-Poo Platter.
Right. And, Poo-Poo Platter just gave up, was a classic down and in slider. A righty just hooked on the line and, caught it just at the right, it was, I don't know. I didn't call it a failure on his part. It was just one of those things, like you just said, that's baseball, Susan. Danny Jansen becomes, a hero and wins it in the bottom of the 10th, 3-0. And he's a likable Blue Jay. I'll give you him. Anybody that plays with goggles, my son went through the social trauma of playing with goggles his whole life. So I sympathize with him for sure. So I hate that it came at our expense, but a fun game if you like classic baseball and good defense and all these things. And Dave, was this Aaron Hicks Day, or did that happen after this game? Oh, that didn't even happen until Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, no, it didn't happen until Cincinnati. Yes.
Okay.
But I think
Aaron
what
Hicks
happened,
is starting to hit a little bit.
Right.
He's getting a little playing time, and he's catching, wounded duck here, ground ball with eyes, something like that.
Yeah, I think
you know,
Thursday was the day that the Yankees traded for Greg Allen.
right. And
And then so the
I did the same thing
anticipation,
you did. I thought it was going to be Jake Bauer.
yeah,
And then
like
I
what
remember
is
Michael
the
Kay saying like 5 times in 3 days how much the Yankees love Jake Bauer.
yeah,
And then I was like, uh-oh, it could be Aaron Hicks Day.
it
Um,
could be. It
and
probably it
and
is.
spoiler alert,
Yes.
it happened. Aaron Hicks Day
Spoiler
happened.
alert. Yes, Aaron
And
Hicks, and not I was going to say Aaron Boone. Nope. Oh, Hicks. No, so maybe it was Friday because Hicks was still in the lineup and played Friday. So I think it was Friday night into Saturday. So we're one day off
okay.
here.
Mhm.
But yeah, so it was Friday. It
Yeah,
was
that's right.
Friday.
Because the Greg Allen thing happened Friday.
Yep. So Friday and
Yeah.
then Saturday
Saturday we
we
see
see the
the transaction.
GTFO for
Yeah.
Hicks. GTFO Hicks
So
DFA.
remind me to circle back to that topic with him real quick
Yes.
when we're done with
Yep.
these games. So, you know, a tough loss for the Yankees, but what are you going to do? Classic baseball game, two good teams, great matchup, and the kid caught one to win the game for him. Do you have anything else you want to add there?
Nope. No, we could
Okay.
just, move right on to Thursday again. We had already kind of tipped our hand a little bit that, Clark Schmidt, whoops, nope. That is the wrong day. Thursday was Nestor Cortez getting off the schneid, if you will.
Right.
And 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 6 strikeouts and a walk. Definitely what the Yankees needed, given
Yes.
some of the bullpen issues, as far as that goes. But yeah, and Judge homers again in the first inning. Just setting the tone, really. And this was a 4-2 game, so it was not nearly as many runs, a little bit better pitching as far as that goes. But kudos, hey, the Yankees continuing to play well and taking 3 out of 4, Mike, from a division opponent.
Yeah,
after
and I want to
splitting with
commend
Tampa.
Volpe's home run because it was opposite field power, easy opposite field power. And if he
Yes.
continues to do that, look out.
And that was in the 7th inning, right? So it's
Right.
it's 2-1.
Right.
So Volpe gets the home run. Sorry, that was in the 9th inning. My goodness. Sorry. But yeah, nonetheless, big home run
insurance
for Volpe, getting it to 4-2 instead of 3-2. Definitely was a huge run for the Yankees. And then Marinaccio comes on and spins his good stuff and only throws 7 pitches and gets 3 outs, and they go 1-2-3. Toronto does in the 9th, and the Yankees take 3 out of 4 from Toronto, Mike. And then
so Marinaccio becomes the 5th Yankee to get a save this season already. Crazy.
Wait,
King,
do we need
Peralta?
Yeah. Do we need Aroldis Chapman, or is he still busy falling down the stairs? We'll get saves any way we can, except for having
Tommy
Chapman on the mound.
Is in rehab in the minors and on his way in the next 10 days. That'll be a huge lift.
Yes, so if he can pitch anywhere near the way he pitched in his previous stint with the Yankees, that is a huge lift. Power arm, dominating fastball that moves. That'll be a major addition for the Yankees, no doubt. So Mike, they go to Cincinnati.
The Yankees make their mark on the American League East now. Nice 3 out of 4 against the division rival, and you don't get that many chances this season. Don't forget too. So these wins almost are worth 1.5, in my opinion. Compared to previous seasons.
Absolutely.
With the lopsided schedule. So on to Cincinnati. Beautiful ballpark. I've heard from several people that have done the visited all the ballparks in the country.
Mhm.
I like to watch those on YouTube. That Cincinnati is right up there always with one of the most hidden gems in all the country as far as the ballpark goes. And it was like home cooking for the Yankees, Dave. It just felt comfortable and easy. I don't know. I didn't feel threatened, in any of the games in
Except when
particular.
Clark Schmidt was on the mound and they're looking at
And
his
they're
glove
getting ready to
as we
throw
talked
out.
about that. Yeah, everybody
Right.
kind of with a lump in their throat there. And
Right.
Mike, very interesting. Some of the dialogue going along in this series. Obviously, riding high 3 out of 4 against Toronto. You don't want to let down
Right.
against a lesser opponent, if you will, in Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
The Yankees are certainly more talented and should, win 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4, against
Right.
Cincinnati, whatever the series is. However, Aaron Boone, like, again, he hasn't been back in a while either. He hasn't been back there as manager of the Yankees. Getting on and saying, this is a huge series and this means a lot to him. And
Right.
it's kind of crazy. You could make the argument. I haven't seen comments from the players one way or another, but he motivated the Yankees to beat Cincinnati with that. It just seems a little, I don't know. I was a little surprised, I guess I would say. And
A little corny, a little campy.
yeah, a little corny. And it
yeah,
means a
but
lot to me.
win
This
one
is where
for the Gipper.
yeah. And it doesn't
thing.
seem like Boone to
Listen,
say that kind of stuff.
Whatever you
And
want to say about Boone and his strategy, he's a player's coach, and he certainly stands up for his players with the umpires, with the press.
Oh, absolutely.
He'll take the bullet for any and all of them. So, they're apt to reciprocate those feelings. Did it motivate them to play that much harder against the, dregs of the National League Central? No, I don't imagine it was particularly stirring. It might have been, that was, I forgot Skip was from here, and roots are nice and all that stuff. But and then they just moved on to have their talent just flex their muscle.
Yes, which included another Judge home run. So
the dude is
in the first inning
fire.
again. Yeah, he's just yeah. What can you say?
With Alonso with 13 at one point, but he had missed 10 games.
Yeah,
it's like, and Alonso's having an amazing season.
Yes,
and I believe it's pulled ahead, or they're neck and neck still. But he's just unbelievable. He played a little bit of center field here. Got a DH day, I believe. But there wasn't one particular game I was going to really talk about, Dave, unless there was a moment or a thing that you wanted to point out. I just kind of thought it was nice, crisp baseball for a change for the first time, because even in Toronto, we had some pretty bad base running, and Gleyber Torres had the worst mental game of his career. Getting thrown out twice on the bases, and a bad error. It just seemed like a little bit like it took an edible or something. I don't know what was going on with him, but he bounced back. He's having a great season. It was just that game was crazy. But so I don't have a particular moment. Do you?
I think. Well, interestingly, that Jose Trevino gets put on the IL, and we finally get a Ben Rortvedt sighting, Mike, and he comes on Saturday's game and goes 2
that
for
Trevino
4.
injury came out of nowhere for me. I was really surprised to see he was put on the IL. I didn't, I watched just about every pitch of every game,
I think it surprised me.
My eyes aren't open all the time, I'll be honest.
So. Yeah. So Rortvedt gets in his first action since 2 years, since they got him in the trade from Minnesota.
Yep.
2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. We'll take it.
Yeah, good story.
You
Good
know,
call.
which was really nice. What was the other thing I was going to mention about the series? Well, so you get to
the aforementioned Aaron Hicks release happens during the series. They
yes,
acquired Greg Allen from the Sox, I believe.
yes, from the Red Sox. Yep.
And immediately call him up and DFA Aaron Hicks. And I was really, like I was saying earlier, surprised. At first I thought it was Bowers, but then I kept remembering how Michael Kay was drilling home how much they liked him. And that just, popped from my mind. And no sooner did I think it, that it wasn't reported. So what do you think? I mean, well, let's start here.
I mean, it's long
Is
overdue.
it worse than Jacoby Ellsbury contract, equal, or about the same?
Oh, I mean, I guess the challenge with, I guess you can't say that it's as bad. Well, I mean, at least Ellsbury, it felt like he at least was somewhat productive. And I may just be the recency bias there that I don't remember.
Oh, I would think Hicks was way more productive.
Yeah,
I mean, he did earn enough to get signed to the moment he signed the big deal, the big extension. That's the moment he started getting hurt.
That's when the shit hit the fan. There we go.
The feces hit the rotary oscillator. But yeah,
so they're both pretty bad. I mean, I guess when it comes down to it,
this led me to this thought, and I thought this would be good banter.
Yeah.
Since the Yankees have tried to replace Bernie Williams, they've had 2 obvious failures, and we just talked about Hicks and Ellsbury. Who else comes to mind that they tried and didn't work? And are they done trying this megastar center fielder contract, like the classic Mickey Mantle contracts? Joe DiMaggio, Yankee center fielder prestige position, which I kind of felt played into somewhat what they were doing with those deals. They like to say this is the Yankee center fielder, and this is the Yankee shortstop. This is that they like that stability in the middle. So, and they're not wrong traditionally, obviously, very much not wrong. But 2 huge failures.
Yeah.
The first name, I'll give you the first name because I'm stringing this on you. Unless you have one ready, I don't want to spoil it.
I do not.
Okay. Curtis Granderson had a nice transition. He had a nice couple of years. I think
he had over 40 home runs one year.
Yeah, he had an MVP run. He certainly received votes. I don't think he definitely didn't win it.
No.
But he was a nice little transition piece. It was a little bit later in his career, and when he went to the Mets afterwards and other places, he wasn't the same. So probably got the best we could out of him at that point in his career. So I thought that was a good contract. Other than that, Dave, I mean,
yeah.
Who is anyone else come to mind?
No, my only thought was, last year before they traded for Bader, that it was going to be Judge, and he played more center field and all of that. He's going to be the center fielder. And then, so my guess would say, I would say based on that, I think they are done, because the thought was Judge was going to be the center fielder. And then when they had the opportunity to get this stellar, youngish defensive, genius in Harrison Bader, wizard, yes, in center
better
field,
than advertised, and he had a high advertisement.
Yeah. And they immediately go and get him. So that's, if you want to look at decisions and actions speak louder than words, that right there tells you that the Yankees are done with the big contracts in center field and have said, you know what, we need defense, we need some speed. And they've gotten way more pop out of Harrison Bader than I think any of us anticipated. And in a good way. I mean, they don't necessarily need it, but he's been great. He's definitely one of my favorites as far as the, recent acquisitions.
Yeah,
But Mike,
absolutely.
So you
So
look
I
at
just
this.
thought that was an interesting thing to bet around. And if our fans have
Absolutely.
any comments, or people were obviously missing and you're screaming at your headphones too, certainly add us on Twitter or
Yeah, hit us up.
Instagram, or
Let us know.
please, let us know. We're not afraid to fail.
Yeah,
So where do you want to go
obviously.
next, buddy?
Well, so just to put a bow, I like to do this apparently, put a bow on this
Yeah,
week. The Yankees, 6-1 on the 7-game road trip. Mike,
phenomenal.
and the much maligned Yankee bullpen. I saw this today and I was really stunned, but then as I go through the box scores, I see it. The Yankees bullpen had a 1.34 ERA on this road trip. And keep in mind, that includes Herman getting, kicked out, and,
Right.
Cordero starting the game, and then Brito pitching.
Right. Those are all
1.34 from this beleaguered, beat up bullpen, shorthanded and everything else. They pitched, you have to say, very, very impressively. And imagine, and a lot of that ERA comes from the Wednesday game where they gave up 3 runs in the 10th inning.
Right. Right. After an amazing start. So the only thing I worry about, obviously, is longevity. How long could this bullpen keep doing this at this efficiency? And how long do we really want them to? I don't want them to peak now. Not that I want to, fall behind in the division either. So, it's certainly a balancing act, and hopefully we have some young, fresh arms ready to come up and do the job. Debbie Garcia, please do something for us.
Can we get him? Well, the other thing too,
can we get him an opportunity?
Yeah, let's hope so. And speaking of opportunities, Mike, the game yesterday in Cincinnati marked the return of Luis Severino.
Yes.
And he was on a pitch count, 75 pitches, but he got almost through 5 innings, Mike, and pitched really well. The team really seemed to be pumped up by that. So when you talk about, helping out the bullpen, getting back one of your top line starters is really, really a big piece, and then you mentioned Canely potentially coming back. There
I haven't heard anything on Rendon lately. I know he had a minor setback there, right? But I thought it was minor and he was back on the road, but I failed to look that up. But certainly he's not on the horizon, or they'd be talking about it,
Yeah, I mean, I think he's closer than than farther away at this point, if that's what you want to throw that out there.
And I guess they're going to put Herman back in the rotation, just because they need arms. If they had any balls, honestly, they'd cut him. They'd DFA him. Oh, so one more thing on the Yankees. So now that Hicks is gone, Josh Donaldson, is he next on the DFA list? I mean, where's he going to fit in right now?
Yeah, my oldest son has been asking me about this and saying, where's, what's this and what's going on? And you're having a DJ LeMahieu who has had to play maybe a little bit more than we thought. I mean, if Donaldson was healthy.
I brought that up before. I don't like him playing so much third, just, his big body. Now he's been injury prone the last couple of years. I just don't like the beating that third base can give.
Yeah, but he's playing well, and so I don't know, but maybe he comes. So Donaldson comes back, and I don't know. We talked about this, and I was like, "Oh, you have to send
Peraza."
Well, Peraza's on the IL right now.
Right, he's not back yet. So
I mean,
I don't know. You're not going to get rid of IKF. You're not going to get rid of.
No, IKF seems to be, doing,
And somewhere, sometimes Stanton will come back, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at one point, he'll be allowed to swing a bat, and
I mean, he's been doing, I think what Aaron Boone said is he's back to full full baseball activities. I'm trying to find the language here.
I understand the precautions. I really do, but I'm so tired of the
Resume
deliberate.
full baseball activities.
Okay, great. That means to me, get your ass back in the lineup.
Yep. And that was
We
5
need a
days
big bat.
ago. That was 5
Right.
days ago.
You want to take one night down to AAA? I'll put you in the top
Sure.
of the lineup. You'll get 4 at bats. I can understand that. But other than that, get back up here. You know.
Yeah. Yep.
Or you're still hurt. Those to me are the two options. I know that's not how the world works anymore, and not how it'll ever be again. But it still frustrates me as an old man on my porch.
Yeah, as well it should.
Okay,
But we're getting there.
in agreement. All right. Let's go over power rankings, Davey.
Okay.
Double
Yeah,
dip, Dave.
let's do that.
Oh, real quick.
Sure.
I did want to do this first. So the fan graphs, which compiles a bunch of data and projects the winner of the World Series, has released their most recent ranking with current statistics up to date to last night.
Mm-hmm.
They released that today. So who do you think has statistically the biggest advantage to win the World Series?
I'm going to say it's the LA Dodgers.
The LA Dodgers would be 2 at 11.2%.
So then I guess it must be Tampa at 1.
The Tampa Rays are 4 at 11%.
Atlanta Braves.
Atlanta Braves are 1 at
there we
20%. So I thought that was interesting. Yankees are at 5 at 6.6%. Let's see, the Mets are tied for 9th at 4.1%. Phillies are 11th, and the Cardinals and Brewers. My Brewers have a 3% chance. So
you're saying
that was
there's
interesting
a
to share.
chance.
So you're saying there's a chance. So
well, speaking of the Milwaukee Brewers, Mike, as we started off, I have the Milwaukee Brewers at number 10.
You do?
Yes, 25 and 21. They're just between them and the Pirates. Neither one of them seems to want to take the division and run away with it.
No.
But so Milwaukee is there, 25 and 21. What I don't like, Mike, is their run differential of -2.
That is very interesting. Very interesting. Remind me something about run differentials when we get to the end of this. At 10, I have the New York Metropolitans. I know it's so hard because they have the rainouts and the double headers, and then that's tough to judge. And I don't know. I feel like they're going to start to get healthy. Alonso's having a heck of a year. You can't discount what they did with Alonso's game tying grand slam and Lindor's.
Well, sure you can.
Hit. That was exciting.
Exciting. Yes, for sure.
And let's be frank, Judge has been the talk of the town as far as baseball goes, and rightfully so for the last year and a half. And Alonso's been neck and neck with him, honestly, and now is making a run for top dog. So I think they're really starting to hit. Lindor's starting to look a little bit like himself again. Marte is a stud when healthy. So I had to put them in there at 10, buddy.
Yep, they have won 5 in a row. I would again be concerned with their -14 run differential, but
yes,
they are playing well. Mike, who do you have at 9?
At 9, I have my Minnesota Twins. Kind of plugged ahead a little bit there in the Central, as much as anybody has. Those teams are so desperate, Dave, that the White Sox signed old pal Clint Frazier yesterday. So that's how bad the Central is right now. But Yeah, I got my Minnesota Twins there at 9.
Yep, I have the Twins at 9 also. My flip-flop
Okay.
between them and Milwaukee, very close records, is that Minnesota's run differential is plus 43. So
Right.
just a little bit better. So I put Minnesota at 9. At 8, Mike, I have the Arizona Diamondbacks, who
Okay.
2 weeks in a row for me have made it into the top 10. 27-20, 7-3 in their last 10. 1-2 in a row. Nothing terribly notable, but they are continuing to win games, and they're only a game and a half back of the Dodgers, Mike, which this was one of those teams that a lot of people said watch out for, and they may do something. I kind of laughed at it, but as right now, I have them at number 8, Mike. Who do you have at 8?
I have exactly who you have for exactly the same reasons. And watch out for Zach Gallen for Cy Young. Right now, probably the top ranked pitcher in baseball.
Yes.
So I like their future, and they're sneaky good this year.
Mhm.
And there's always a team out there like that, and it seems to be them. So at 7, I have the suddenly getting healthy Dave. Unfortunately, Jose Altuve added Houston Astros, and Framber Valdez continues to be the best pitcher in baseball that nobody can name. Their lineup is fierce and starting to get healthy, like I said. I think Michael Brantley isn't far from coming back, if not back already as well, which obviously is a huge help. So Houston Astros for me at number 7.
I also have the Houston Astros at number 7, Mike. Yeah, seriously. They have won 7 in a row, 9-1 in their last 10, and the run differential at plus 38, plus all of the wonderful things, Mike, that you said. But it gives me great satisfaction at number 6 to put our New York Yankees, Mike, ahead of those stinking Houston Astros, for all of the reasons that we talked about. That they're playing their best baseball of the year and doing it, sans Cincinnati, doing it against good teams. So I have the Yankees at 6, Mike. What say you?
Dave, we're in mind now.
Oh,
so yes,
no.
New York Yankees at 6.
Oh, jeez.
For all the same reasons. I love what they've done, not being 100% healthy, how they've responded as a young roster, how athletic they are compared to previous seasons. Their defense has certainly improved. Base running needs some improvement for sure in some spots, but certainly taking more chances, more than they have in many years. So, depth seems to be pretty good, and starting pitching's holding up. So I like where we are, poised, especially what we've done with the Rays and the Blue Jays in the last couple of weeks. So,
yep.
I have a strong up arrow next to our team as well.
Sounds great. Who do you have at 5, Mike?
The Baltimore Orioles, our nemesis in the American League East. They just continue to win. I just can't ignore the numbers. With 29 wins, there's just
or 31.
Oh, that's a 31.
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, I was looking at us. So yeah, they're just hanging in there. Behind the. Objectively a great Rays team so far this season, with just being 2.5 back. So, Baltimore Orioles ahead of us, unfortunately, but just playing so well right now.
Yeah. Yep. And then we're only 3 games behind them. And we open up a huge series against them starting tomorrow.
Right. No, ultimately, they don't scare me. Now, things might change after this next series, but
sure.
I'm feeling very confident, right?
Yes, as well you should. And look, we've put ourselves in a place to be able to compete with these top teams. So let's see what happens. Mike, I have the Texas Rangers at 5, 29-17, won 3 in a row, 7-3 in their last 10, still sporting that great run differential of plus 108. Now they did just sweep the Rockies over the weekend. But you got to win the games that you play against the teams that you play. So I have Texas at 5, and then I have Baltimore at 4.
Okay, so we have them flip flopped because I have Texas above.
You have
Baltimore.
Texas at 4. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I mean they are very, very close. Both.
So
teams.
give me Texas's run differential if you have it.
Yes, it's plus 108.
Plus 108.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Second best in all of baseball.
Right. How many wins do they have?
29.
29. And they're plus 108. So if you win each game by an average of 3, that's 90, and they're 108. So they're winning by almost 4 runs a game. That's crazy. And they're not in the lead, right? And we'll get to the team that is, I'm sure.
Yes.
Which was my point. So yeah, we have them flip-flopped. I love the Rangers preseason. I still continue to like them. So here's where I got into some, these last 3 teams. I think we have the same 3, obviously. And for the first time in a while, I thought maybe there was going to be a debate about one, who would be number 1, but we'll see what happens there. But for number 3 for me, Dave, is the Atlanta Braves. And they have some players playing very well, Acuna, Sean Murphy, Matt Olson, all off to great starts, but stars like Austin Riley just haven't fired yet. And while Spencer Strider's been tremendous, obviously, probably I would say the number 2 pitcher behind Gallen in baseball. Maybe we should rank pitchers sometime. He's just not enough, I don't think, yet. I felt they still feel a little shaky behind him. I thought they were going to be stronger there. Not to say, and that's nitpicking. Okay, this is a tremendous.
Sure, it is. They have the best record in the National
Harris
League.
Jr. is healthy. He gunned somebody down at the plate. A tag up from third base by a Seattle runner, a pretty quick runner that took pretty decent route to the plate, and he just gunned him down like it was nothing. Very, very impressive for a left-handed center fielder, especially. Yes. But so the Atlanta Braves, I think, are really right in the running of bursting into the elite top 1 or 2, but still 3 for me right now.
Yep. I also have them at 3, Mike. They did take 2 out of 3 against Texas this week and open up a series tonight, Mike, versus the Dodgers. So we will see which team comes out of the series with National League supremacy. And Mike, I have the Dodgers at 2, as I did last week, 29-19. And we'll see what the Dodgers, again, they've been playing really well. The 3 games at Atlanta and then 3 games at Tampa. So our top 3 teams are all battling each other in this next week.
Yeah. The Dodgers also too, for me, they just lost 3 out of 4 to the Cardinals. Can't do that. While the Rays did win 2 out of 3 against the Brewers, who were a pretty decent baseball team. So that's why I kept the Rays at 1. For that reason. Give me, Dave, the Rays run differential. If you have
they are tops in all of baseball at plus 124.
Plus 124 with
34 wins.
34 wins. So they're right there, with the Rangers. It's just crazy. The Rangers, when they win, they just beat the crap out of you. The record isn't as good as the Rays. But when they win big. But the Rays are just impressive at the plate. And I hate to give them credit, but I don't see a lot of weaknesses. Did you notice, Dave, Oakland A's released old friend Corey Kluber today? Uh,
I did not,
yeah,
but
just thought that was interesting. He, if healthy, could be an innings eater. He pitched really well for Tampa, pitched obviously very well for us, including the no hitter. And then Tampa after, and then I guess in Oakland either didn't want to continue to pay him, or I really wasn't keeping track of his season so far, but they released him today, so
oh well,
just keep an eye on
I'm
that name.
sure. Yeah, he'll
Just an
end up
interesting name.
somewhere, I would guess. Um, Back to the Rays for a sec, Mike, and we had
Oh
talked
yeah,
about a bunch of weeks ago as we looked at the best 30 game starts in Major League Baseball history, and a couple of the top ones, and seeing how a lot of those teams then kind of did 500 baseball after their great starts, and still managed, to have great years. Well, Tampa started out 24-6, Mike,
yep,
10-8 in the 18 games since 10
right,
and 8.
right.
So
No, Warner's going to find its level. They're still going to be a very, very good team, and because they had the hot start, they have a chance to have a record year. Maybe
yep,
now not superior, Seattle Seahawk or Seattle Mariner type of 116 year, but now that's probably out the window. But still, um, to win an American League East if they keep at this pace, fairly easily would be impressive. So,
sure, oh
of
no
course,
doubt,
we're rooting against that.
yes
Fairly
we
and
are.
squarely. I'd love to win it, and I'd love to win at home, Dave, but I kind of want to win at their place.
Yeah,
You
with
know
all
what
the
I
Yankee
mean?
fans cheering.
Yeah, yeah, and just really shove it in their face. But
Mm.
you know, dreams. We all have dreams and aspirations, right?
Yes,
Anything
yes,
else,
yes,
real
we
quick,
do.
or you
uh
wanna?
Nope. Well, I guess the one thing is, and when you look at teams that are not doing so good, we look at the top 10 and a not top 10, Mike, the
Okay.
San Diego Padres,
Yeah. Wah, wah,
21-26, 2-8 in their last 10, Mike. And their challenge, Mike, is offensively, which you would not have thought after
right.
they went out and got Xander
Got Juan
Bogaerts and Juan
Soto.
Soto
Oh, yeah.
and I was going to say
Yeah.
Manny Ramirez, Manny Machado. Mike, they have scored 182 runs in their games, which is the second
And
worst
Tatis Jr.'s back up, right?
in the
I knew it.
National League.
He came back,
Yeah,
and they were going to play him in the outfield. Um, but I haven't really heard anything of him much at all lately, honestly.
nope, nope. So that's just one of those teams that,
Yeah,
you know,
disappointing. I think the
d- d-
Cardinals are
dis,
disappointing. I thought they
yes,
would thought they'd be better, especially pitching wise. But they're starting to finally show their age. Um, I think they're sorely disappointed in the Contreras, uh, the catcher, signing him from the Cubs. Already saying that he's mostly going to DH now. Just disgusted already with his, performance. Um, oh, speaking of old friends getting called up, Gary Sanchez, the
yeah,
Sanchez,
yeah.
across the rivers at the New York Mets,
The New York
who,
mess. Yeah,
needed a backup catcher. I can see a team taking a shot at his power. I'd still,
sure.
you can get him cheap right now, as a rental. Sure, plug him in, see if he can be a Dave Kingman, run into one every six at bat. What the heck? Let him play beer league softball with it. Why not? He's got
Yes.
the power. I mean, he certainly has the power and the hand-eye coordination. Um, certainly doesn't have the head, but
No,
uh,
no, no, it does not. But we'll see. We'll see, how the Sanchino does with the New York Mets. Um,
so let's defend the umps now that I offended the umps earlier. Um, Did I find the umps earlier? Did we have that rant on screen or off?
Oh no, that was on screen. You were
Okay, good.
up on your high horse.
Oh, right. And now I'm back down with Judge low pitch.
Yes.
So here's the play that happened. Ground ball, runner on first base for Washington. Ground ball up the middle. Javi Baez of the Detroit Tigers smothers the ball with his body, but it kind of gets away from him, and he's right by second base. As he's getting up, touches second base with his glove, picks up the ball with his hand, and then simultaneously throws it to first base to get a double play because the runner was that slow. And then the umpires got together and called the runner at second safe, and everybody's safe. Why did they change their ruling, Dave?
Well, because the ball didn't touch the base.
Second base.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if he touched
Right.
the base with his glove and the ball was in his other hand, yeah,
He
that's
never
why you
displayed
see
control in his glove, right,
yes.
of the baseball. So if he had done it the other way, if he touched the base with the ball,
right, and then just thrown it,
came up and thrown, which would have also been an athletic. I mean, it's a tremendous athletic feat.
Sure, but we've seen it from Javi Baez. I mean, he certainly could do that.
I mean, it should have been a routine play turned into a circus play, but still, I'm glad you caught that right away. A lot of people don't get that. That it doesn't matter. He had it in his hands. Well, it does matter, according to the rules of baseball. So
yes,
very good,
much
very
so.
good. I like that. And so the umpires got a lot of credit, honestly, from the broadcast for getting it right. Getting it together and getting it right without having to have reviews and everyone hold up and do all that. So good on them. Anything else, my friend?
No, I think that's good. The Yankees are playing well. I think you just see teams are very streaky.
Honestly, it's hard to find 10 good teams.
Yeah, but like more so,
Frank.
Yeah, you could be Mike as well.
Sure.
But more so than in past years, I think you just see a lot of teams just streaking.
7 through 14 are interchangeable, the drop of a hat, I think.
Yep.
And it's not that 1 through 6 are that much better, besides the Rays. So anyway, yeah, it's very, very interesting. You're right, how streaky baseball is right now. And I cut you off as you're wrapping us up. That's to our tens of fans.
Yes, but they do wait to see, the banter and who cuts off who and who does what to who here. So we're just
keeping score somewhere.
Yep, we're just providing that. If you have a scorecard out there that has marks for me and marks for Mike, please post that up on social media and let us see it. We would love to we would love to talk about that and see where the record stands. It's not a competition. It's all friendly banter, but it would be hilarious nonetheless. So we hope that you've enjoyed this episode of Think Tank Sports, where we've talked baseball and Yankees and some other things. And we made it not quite a family show with a couple of choice words along the way, but sometimes it's deserving there, and we felt it was sometimes more Mike than me, but I threw some out there too. So let's call it even on this episode of Think Tank Sports. But please check us out on the socials, listen to us, watch us on YouTube if you're so inclined here at Think Tank Sports, and we'll be back at you with NBA later this week as Mike and I cry on screen as our teams both get swept in Western Conference and Eastern Conference finals. Not going to be pretty. I'll put it out there. That could be an ugly firing of the coaches and everything else kind of podcast. But anyways, we hope that you'll continue to listen to us here at Think Tank Sports, where we think and you listen as we strive for 5. Everybody, see ya.